Well, good evening, y'all.
Good evening,
We're
everyone.
not going to be in here long because tomorrow you'll probably get a much longer live from
You're
us.
gonna get a full dose.
Tomorrow you will get a much longer live from us. We just wanted to come on and say hello and make sure that y'all don't miss our anniversary party tomorrow live.
Yes.
Um, we'll be going live tomorrow at our anniversary party. Hey, Hattie, I don't know if you're still here, but hey.
Hey, as you can see, Joseph pinned the link to the wish list to the top of the comment section. So those of you that wish to make a purchase from the wish list, by all means, please do so.
And
And
thank you to everybody that already made purchases because
yes,
every day at the door there's something.
yes, and know that all gifts, both monetary and the gifts that you get off the wish list, are really, really greatly appreciated. We do appreciate you guys.
All right. And both are in the description box. If you want to see the wish list, it's in the description box. If you don't know our Cash App by now, it is also in the description box. Um, yeah, so whatever, however, or on our anniversary or tomorrow. Well, tomorrow isn't our anniversary. Next Friday is our anniversary. Tomorrow is the party. But on our anniversary, if you just want to say happy anniversary to us, because I am going to post one of our wedding pictures on the community wall, you definitely can do that. We don't have a problem with that. Hey, Tristan. But yeah, Tramel, can you believe it's been 5 years?
God, no, I can't. Well, actually, it seems like longer, really.
We had a struggle in the beginning.
Oh yeah, we was a struggle in the beginning. We were fighting.
I ain't think we was going to make it to 5 years.
It
I ain't
wasn't no
even going to lie.
struggle. It was a fight.
I ain't even going to lie. I ain't think we was going to make it to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
By year number two, I was like, oh, honey, I'm done.
Yeah, we was fighting. We fought. Oh God, did we fight? We fought just about every other day about something.
It was to the point we was talking about therapy and things of that nature.
Yes,
But
we were talking about going to couples therapy
but
because
the
we didn't know what was going on. I was like, I said, Joseph, sometimes I wake up at night and I look at you and I want to cave your face in.
and because both of us have been to therapy, honestly, when we actually sat down and we actually used what we both learned in therapy
Yeah.
individually, it started working itself out. And we started listening to each other and the changes. We never tried to change each other as people, just the bad traits we had with each other.
I think we wanted to change each other, but we saw that trying to change each other wasn't going nowhere.
Right.
And the fact that both of us are fire
Hey,
signs,
Geraldine. Hey, Carol. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
instead of the
interrupt you.
flame becoming, evenly lit, it just turned into an inferno.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if one of us would have been a water sign, we probably would have been able to cool the other one down.
Hmm.
Or if one of us would have been an air sign, we would have been able to blow the fire out.
Yeah, but our personalities were too strong
But
for
when you
that.
got two fire signs, child, let me tell you something. It be on and popping. On and popping.
Yes, our personalities were very strong. Joseph was one of those people that was like, "You ain't gonna tell me what to do." And if he thought that you was telling him what to do, then you ain't gonna tell him what to do, and he gonna try to prove to you that you're not going to do that. And me on the other side, I just had a whole lot of mouth
Oh,
that
Jesus.
didn't know how to shut up. And sometimes I used to sit there and I used to curse Joseph out. Now, my inside voice would be like, "Oh Jesus, he gonna beat me."
I would never beat my baby, honey. I ain't gonna lie. There was times I wanted to knock you the fuck out, but you know what? And what too? It got to the point where we got tired of fighting, both of
Mm-hmm.
us. And I told Tramel one
I
day.
know I was tired.
I said, you know what? I said we are fucking fools. And he said, what do you mean? I said, every time we go through this whole yelling, screaming match, throwing shit around the house, breaking shit up, I said, we always end up that night or the next day coming together, having a conversation, changing the things that we, not necessarily dislike, but the things that get on our nerves about each other. I said, well, why can't we just skip the yelling and screaming and throwing shit and do that part?
Right.
I was like, it's easy to just walk away when we feel like we gon' act the fucking fool.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it it took a minute, but now, child, I couldn't tell you.
Well,
Well, there are times.
yeah, there are times when we both get heated, but it's not like it used to be.
Oh, it's nowhere near what it used to be.
No.
Once a month, hey uncle. Once a month, once every 4 months, I could live with that.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna live in total unicorn and rainbows. I
Right.
don't care who you
Total
are.
bliss. Yeah.
Right. So, but
But you know
before,
what the thing is? I think that really, really um, has brought us to a happy medium is that we knew that we loved each other,
right,
but we had to both ask ourselves the question, do we love each other unconditionally?
right,
And that was the key. The key was loving one another unconditionally. And what that means is that you love that person, flaws and all, good, bad, and ugly, mind, body, and soul. And no matter what, you know, you still love this person no matter what they do or say. You love this person, and because you had that unconditional love, you're able to work things out.
right. And hey, Bush babies, y'all know we love you, Bush babies, honey.
Yes, hey, Bush babies.
But for me, it was, every time I would get mad, I would stand there and think, okay, what am I gonna do without him? I love this man unconditionally, like he said. I was like, I know there's nothing nobody could ever tell me that God didn't put me and Tremel together. And I said, do I look God in the face and say, well, you gave it to me and I don't want it no more? I said, who does that?
Right.
And, you know, I just thought about like what my life would be without him in it. And I couldn't visualize anything. I, when you can't visualize anything, if you could stand there and see a whole picture of bliss and running through the woods naked and carrying on, then, maybe you need to move on. Everything ain't for everybody. But when you think about it and you like can't come up with anything and you just blank, it was like, okay, you just need to calm down because you already know you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And me and Tramel had from the beginning of getting married, we always said married business is married business because if I tell my friends, they're gonna hate him. If he tell his friends, they're gonna hate me, and we ain't going nowhere. Now, if you're gonna go somewhere, that's a whole nother story. But when you don't go nowhere, your friends just try to egg you on because now they don't like him because who did he think he is to do that to Joseph, or who does Joseph think he is to do that to Tremel? And you create animosity for people when gonna just because you mad at the moment. So that's
Yeah.
another thing I think that we did right from
We
the
kept
beginning.
married business. And yeah,
Right.
we don't involve our friends or our family in our personal relationship.
Right. Did you take your juice?
Huh?
Did you take your juice?
Yes, I did.
Might want to take some more. But yeah, um, it was hard in the beginning. Now it's easy. It's easy. When people tell you marriage take work, it does. But once it gets to this level of peace, it's like I said, you gonna have your moments But once you get to this level of peace, it's like Tremel ain't gonna disturb my peace. Joseph ain't gonna disturb Tremel's peace. Nobody's coming in to disturb our peace. That ain't never gonna happen. Though it did happen once. And we had to step back and realize what was happening. Cause we was just falling trap into it. And we had to back up and be like, look, this ain't us. This ain't what we do no more. And yada 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 yada. So we had to step up out that negativity and go back to who we were. Because I'm telling you, if y'all don't have peace or if you don't find peace, that's something that you should do. Forget a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. The first thing you need to do is find peace. Because when you find peace, baby,
Mm-hmm.
it is the most wonderful thing on this planet.
Yes, it ain't nothing like being on the same page.
Right, and being peaceful. Like your whole life is just, I ain't gonna say happiness and bliss, but it's just a whole different level. Like I put up a post on Facebook one day and I said, because I was telling Tramel, I was like, oh my God, things that I don't know why everything is bothering me, and oh, people get on my nerves, and oh, la 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 la. And then I realized, I was like, because you know what? They ain't peace. They don't have peace, and the
Mm-hmm.
negativity that they have was annoying me. It's not to say that they were bad people. It was just that the negativity they had was really annoying me. So then I told him, I said, Tramel, I'm really an old man, like you said. He said, why? I said, because I realized the things that I liked when I was 20 and 30 that made me laugh and I didn't mind. I said, at 52, I said, they get on my nerves, honey, and I don't want to be bothered. I was like, I'm so ready to cut so many people off in my life. I was like, because to me, they still in the place we were when we were younger, meaning not physically, but for me, kind of mentally, and I just can't deal with that. I just
But what did I have to tell you to bring you back to life? I said, Joseph, I said, you have to stop allowing people to aggravate you. You have to learn how to pay a lot of things no mind. Because that's what I do, you know. I really try to pay. I really try to pay things no mind. Like when people put negative comments under my post, or people just say negative things, I just pay it no mind. I pay it no mind. There's been times when people have said things in the comment section that was shady and just disgusting, and I just pay it no mind. I don't give it no energy. I may read the comment, but I just pass it right on by.
right. And see me, I agree with Tramel. His method is just different than mine.
Hmm.
It'll annoy me because I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, people are so stupid. Oh my God, people are so stupid." And I don't mean that they're stupid. I just think that the way they think is just okay. You really believe what you're saying, and for him, he ignores it. For me, I get rid of it. I don't even have time to sit and play with it. I don't have time to sit and entertain it. I don't have time to. I just when I'm done, I'm done. So I remove it because I'm like, you know what? I don't have to deal with this shit. You know, I don't care, family member, friend, whatever. I'm not dealing with stuff that is mentally destroying my peace because I'm sitting there like, you know what? I can't take this no more. I really can't do this no more. And, you know, sometimes it's like you don't want to tell people, sometimes you don't want to tell people, you know what? I'm outgrowing you and you need to go your separate way and I need to go mine because, they ain't going to want to hear that. And it'll create a situation because Tramel be trying to get me to tell people certain things. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, why not? You need to tell. I said, let me tell you something. Everybody don't need to know everything. And I put up another post. I said, you don't need to make an announcement or tell your friends, oh, well, I'm not being bothered with such and so no more. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Because of course such and so is going to find out and then want to get on the phone or get in your face and carry on. I don't have that's disturbing my peace. So if I just walk away and close the door, it is what it is. That means I meant what I thought instead in my head or said to my husband, and I'm moving on with my life. And sometimes it's hard, but most of the time when you serious, child, it's the easiest thing you ever had to do in your life. Hey,
Yeah.
Cocoa Butter.
Yes, cocoa butter. You right. Yes, when it's time to move, it's time to move. You know. You know.
Right. And Cocoa Butter, you're right. When it's time to move, it's time to move. Tremel, he said the same thing you just typed. And a lot of times it's hard because I've had friends from junior high school and we've been cool for years. And I'm just like, we ain't in the same space.
Right. I mean, it's not hard for me. For me, it's not hard. It's like, okay, I have to make a decision between, keeping my peace or just dealing with a whole bunch of silly mess. I'm not doing it. So I just make the conscious decision to move on.
Yeah, I want to laugh. Somebody that know me and know I flip tables and I get angry and upset all the time. They told me one day, they said, I'm really proud of you. I said, why? They was like, because you have changed. I was like, you really calm. I said, girl, let me tell you something. I found my peace. I said, and when people get me to see red, I said, you know what I changed it to in my head that brings me back my peace? She was like, what? I said, one of them little tea light candles, and I just see the silver, the white candle, and the flame burning. And I just in my head go, there go my peace. There go my peace. It took me, I'm going to say 50, because I realized it when I was 50. It took me 50 years to realize everything don't need a response.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't. Like it
It
everything
doesn't.
don't need a response. And I'm trying to teach my husband that now, but Trebell is like, oh no, if I feel some kind of way, I'm telling him.
Right.
But for me, everything but that's how my whole life was. So for me now, the peace part of it says they don't need a response. You don't need to respond to them for what? Especially if I know it's somebody that's waiting for a confrontation, that
Well,
I'm
it depends.
really not going to say nothing.
It depends. Sometimes you need to say what you need to say. And
Hey,
that's
Chris.
just me. I said my piece and I'm moving on. But sometimes I need to say what I need to say and walk away.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But when I know, see, when I know I have a person that doesn't like confrontation, I'll peacefully go to them and say what I need to say. But when I know it's a person that is the way I used to be,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that, honey. Because that ain't going to turn into nothing nice. It's going to be a yelling and a screaming match. And you did this, you did that. And I don't care what you feel. And, you know, it's just going to be bad. So I noticed because, you have people that are very confrontational and you have very people that don't like confrontation. The ones that I know don't like confrontation are the ones I will nicely talk to them because I know either they're going to understand what I'm saying or they'll be like, oh, okay, and go about their business. But the ones I know that act like I used to act, child, not me, nobody. Because
Not
my
that you're
peace
ready to
will
fight.
be completely destroyed,
Mhm.
especially if they were trying to get you in the first place. Cocoa Buddy, let me tell you something. Somebody told me a long time ago I had to be like 23, 24. And she watched somebody make me so upset to the point where I turned red. I was yelling, screaming, and cursing. And she pulled me to the side and she said, Joe, let me tell you something. She said, you young, because she was an older woman. She said, you young, and I'm going to teach you a life lesson right now. I said, what? Because I was upset. She said, don't you ever let anybody pull you into their arena. You stay in control. You pull them into your arena, so they're standing there acting like you, and you calm like them. She was like, you allow people to pull you into their arena. And then once they start not physically beating me up, but verbally and everything else, I get mad to the point where I want to pop a bitch in the mouth. That was the best advice that someone ever gave me, because from that moment on, every time people would try to get me or make me mad, or I knew what they were doing, I would just back down and be like, "No, we ain't. We going in my arena, boo. We gonna bullfight in my arena, not yours." And it actually works. To be honest with you, when you have to learn that it affects your health. Yes, Carol, and that too. I realized when I first started going to dialysis, they would make me mad because they would have me sitting there forever. My blood pressure would be sky high. And I was like, okay, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. And I also learned that your feelings and emotions control everything in your body, because when my mom was passing away, I went to the hospital and she grabbed my hand, and y'all hear I have a light voice. So when I said, "Hey mom," she thought it was my sister. But then she like lowered her eyebrow like, "Am I hearing what I think I'm hearing?" And cuz she couldn't talk cuz they had a tube down her throat. And I said, "Yeah, ma, it's me." Every machine in that room went off beeping and buzzing, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" And the nurse came and said, "What happened?" I said, "Oh," I said, "we didn't do nothing." I said, "What happened is I live in Maryland." I said, and she realized that it was me. I said, and all the machines start beeping and buzzing when she realized it was me. She said, "Oh, because I'm like, we just gave her a sedative to keep her calm and peaceful." I was like, "I'm sorry." I said, "She's excited because I'm here." And she was like, "Oh, okay, no, if that's the case, then, you know." I said, "Yeah, she's excited because I'm here." So I learned that your feelings and emotions play a large part in your um, physical, your heart, your liver, your lung, all of that. And that's why, like me and Trinell, like we said, we used to have yelling, screaming matches. And once I had that stroke, I said, never again. And he used to get mad at me because I'm like, "I'm not yelling with you. I had a stroke." "Oh, you blame that goddamn stroke on everything." I said, "Trinell, you can say what you want. I am not getting myself upset. So you can yell and scream at me if you want. I'm gonna sit on the side of this bed and play my motherfucking game until you decide to shut up. Cause I'm not getting myself upset." Hey, Carrie, I'm not getting myself upset. I wasn't. Hey, Miss Southern Girl, I just wasn't. When they told me that my stroke came from high blood pressure, I was like, "Oh, I'm not getting myself upset." And Tremella tell you, from the minute I had a stroke, once in a blue moon, I'll start yelling and screaming because, like he said, he won't shut the fuck up, honey. And sometimes I just be like, "Oh, let me just curse this motherfucker out and get it over with." But on the whole, Tremel, no, he'll start yelling and screaming at me before, and I just walk away. "Don't you walk away from me." I said, "Well, then stop yelling at me. You don't tell me what to do." "Okay. Well, as long as you yell, I'm going to go mind my business and let you yell and scream like a motherfucking fool, because I ain't yelling and screaming back." I said, "Everybody outside that can hear you gonna think you a motherfucking idiot because they don't hear me yelling back. So you just keep going, and when you decide to be done, let me know."
Hey, Miss Southern Girl.
Woo, he would be so heated. Yeah, but and you know, it's hard at first, especially when you're a confrontational person and you be sitting there waiting. You done planned it out in your head. "Oh, when this bitch say this, I'm gonna say that. When they do this, I'm gonna do that." It's hard to turn that off. It is really, really hard. Or you already know, "Oh, they gonna say this, and this is what's gonna happen when I get there," and that you done planned out the whole argument in your head. And when you get there, they be like, "Hey, bitch," and now you feel like a fool because you done planned out this whole big fight in your head, and none of that happened. because they ain't have time to sit around like you and plan out the fight or what they was going to say or what they was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling y'all now, when you find peace, if you haven't already, keep that peace. Don't ever let anybody disturb that peace. And if you need to do what I said, picture one of them little tea lights and the little silver thing, just burning a nice little flame. Because what keeps me peaceful is really not the tea light, it's the flame. Seeing the flame bounce around and in my head, and because we've all seen a tea light. So it ain't hard to visualize it in my head, in your head, unless you just can't picture things in your head, which there are people that can't. But once you do that, you good, you straight. Well, I am. I mean, you got to find what brings you peace. You got to find what brings you peace because you know, like I know Tremel don't do that. I don't know what brings him peace and what calms him down. But that's what brings me peace and calms me down. Like when I want to fly off the, even Tremel sometimes be like, "Papa, I'm so proud of you," and I'm like, "Why?" He was like, "Cause I know you would have went off and you would." Tremel, I ain't got time for that shit. I really don't. Like when I was in the hospital and the nurse went off on my sister, and then they kept hanging up on Tremel because they didn't bring me water for like 2 hours. They didn't bring me water and ice for like 2 hours, and both of them called up there like basically at the same time. Then let me tell you something. When it comes to my sister, ever since we was little, you ain't gonna do nothing to hurt her, and you ain't gonna talk to her any old kind of way. Y'all already know my husband told you, don't mess with Tremel because Joseph is his pit bull. So when both of them are calling me, telling me what happened, I'm like, oh Jesus, keep me near the cross, because I will walk up there and slap the shit out that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, you can't do that. I said, because then they're gonna throw you out the hospital and Tremel gonna be mad because it's like 10 o'clock and he gonna have to come get you. I said, and then he ain't gonna have to come get you from the hospital, he gonna have to come get your ass from jail. So the next day when I signed myself out and they was begging me to stay, I said, no, let me tell you something. I said, today I feel like my old self. I said, and if they put her name on my board and I see that it's her, I'm going to walk up there and I'm going to let her have it. I said, she hung up on my husband. I said, and she was rude as hell to my sister. I said, and don't nobody treat either one of them like that. And the girl was like, well, please give us another chance. I said no, because if I give you another chance, and like I said, her name go up on my board, y'all gonna be calling security and escorting me out anyway. So I might as well leave willingly and go. I said I could have left Saturday, and we wouldn't have had this problem on Monday night. I said, but the doctor asked me to stay for her specific reasons, and I agreed. I said, and now we here Tuesday, and I'm sorry that it happened. I said, everybody in here is nice as pie. I don't know what happened. I said, well, I do know what happened that night, but I'm not going to say that on here. But I know what happened that night, why they got the service and reaction they got. But it is what it is. You can't go back and do nothing about whatever already happened. But that's how I kept my peace. When I get mad enough to won't draw blood, it's right, Cocoa Butter Barbie. I had a situation like that one time. I literally saw myself really, really hurting this person. And I had this feeling in me that I never had before. Of course, I've disliked people, but I literally hated them. And let me tell y'all something. You might just get mad at somebody and say, I hate you. Okay. When you experience real, 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 real hate, oh my God, it's just something I did not want a part of. I did not want that to be a part of me, and I had to sit down and cool down, and it took probably about a week, a couple of days, and I was back to myself. But hate is a horrible thing. Disliking somebody or just yelling "I hate you" That ain't nothing. When you really experience hate, unless you a real evil person, it's gonna scare the hell out of you. It really will. It will scare the hell out of you. Cause it scared the hell out of me. And I was like, oh God. I said, oh God, I had to pray. I prayed every day. I was like, Lord, I don't want this. I don't want to experience hate. Like I really hate this person. And like if I could, I would do all kind of horrible things to them. Like, you know, it was bad. And it took, like I said, a couple of days, a week, and I was back to normal. But I hope everybody listening to this and everybody that will listen to this never experiences real hate. Because, child, I mean, it's okay to say I hate you, but when you experience real hate, you ain't even gonna say it. It's just there. It's like your heart just busts open and you like, oh babe, anything good inside you, anything joyous inside you, it's like your whole heart turns dark and you don't care about nothing and nobody, but all you want to do is get that person that you hate. And I've never been that person. So for me it scared me. You know, right, cocoa butter. That's all you could do is cry and pray. I didn't cry, but I did pray. Because I knew the only person that could remove that was God. Because if I festered in that, who knows where I would be right now, to be honest with you. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't know where I would be right now if I festered in that and just let it take over me. And I'm being honest. I could be dead, I could be in jail, I could be whatever. But, you know, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. We just came on to let you guys know that tomorrow we'll be live longer for our anniversary party. And yeah, hope you're able to watch. We'll probably start going live at between 4 and 5. We'll probably start going live. If y'all hear the food processor, it's Tremel blending him up some ice to eat. Um, I got him eating ice now, and they gave me so many blood transfusions in the hospital. I don't even want it no more because my iron level is too high. I just eat it because I feel obligated to do it. But I didn't even eat it when I was in the hospital, and they have the best ice. But yeah, we just wanted to make sure y'all know tomorrow, probably between 4:30 and 5 o'clock, we'll go live. Cocoa Butter Barbie, make sure you there because you're gonna gag at our little cute little ensemble. I don't like saying where we get them from because I don't need people going to get our clothes from the same place. But you know where they came from, so I know you gonna love that little ensemble we have on tomorrow. I know that.
Oh, I'm gonna be sure.
And thank you. It's next Friday, but our party, the my friend that's throwing us a party is giving us the party tomorrow. And then next Friday is our anniversary. And then that Saturday, um, we'll probably go live again because me and Tremella are going out to dinner. You probably won't watch us eating the food because y'all know we horrible at mukbangs. So we'll probably talk to you up until the food comes. And when the food comes, we'll end the live because y'all know we are horrible at mukbang show. Um, and then I have a surprise for him that Sunday because Tremel already opened up his anniversary gifts. He done wore some. He knows about the party and he knows, where we're going Saturday for dinner. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do this as a surprise. So something has to be a surprise for him. So when I told him, I said, I got a surprise for you Sunday after church. What? You know, I don't like surprises. I said, I can surprise my husband if I want to. So, you know, it is what it is. It's no big deal. And like I said, the Amazon wish list is pinned at the top of the chat. Um, there's a lot of stuff on there that's like really cheap. Um, I mean, really, really cheap. And then there's some expensive stuff. But
we had something in there for 19.99.
right, 15.99, 19.99. It is, and then Amazon is putting stuff on sale. So, or like when you click on it, it has like a 5% or 10% coupon, which will still lower the price. So, you know, if you want to check it out, check it out. If not, that's fine. Or if you want to send us the Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. The M as in Uncle Fred put it in the chat, so there it is right there. So if you want to send us a Cash App instead of going on Amazon and looking through a wish list, there go the Cash App. But me and Tramel appreciate everything, anything you do. And again, thank you to the people that have already sent us stuff off the wish list. We haven't opened it. We appreciate it. Next Friday, we probably will do a unboxing of our gifts because it will actually be our anniversary. So we'll probably do an unboxing on that day. Um, but right now, we really haven't opened anything because we want to be surprised. We like little kids. We want to be surprised. Well, Tramel did open one thing because he forgot about the wish list and he was like, "You ordered something from Amazon?" I said, "No." I was like, he said, "Well, I didn't order nothing." And he opened it and he was like, "Oh, it's a coffee grinder." I said, "Well, that was on the wish list." He was like, "Oops." And I was like, "Okay." Because, he went to the store and came back and there's an Amazon bag there. And he's like, he forgot. Oh, my husband is forgetful Jones, honey. So because it happened when I was if I was home, I would have been able to stop him, but I was in the hospital. So when he told me, I said, "Oh, that was on the wish list." He said it was. I said, "Yeah, I put it there." I said, "Because the coffee grinder we had, we left we lost it when we moved." And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know, babe." I was like, I said, "I ain't mad at it. You mad at it?" He was like, "No." I said, "All right then, cool." Because we actually prefer freshly ground coffee as to already ground coffee. Hey, Grateful Heart. We prefer grinding our own coffee as opposed to it just tastes better for some reason. It just tastes better. Um yeah, so if like I said, if you don't feel like going on the Amazon wish list, I know some people go on the Amazon wish list and like it better because they know where their money is going. And then some people, be like, "I ain't going through that, child. I'm gonna send y'all a cash app," which I'm not gonna turn down that either. But it ain't no big deal. Love is love, however you express it. And we appreciate it any way you give it to us. And then, like I said, on Friday, I am going to post one of our wedding pictures. I don't know which one yet on our community wall. And feel free to tell us happy anniversary if you want.
And if y'all want to go and see our wedding,
Yeah, our wedding is on here also. You got to scroll down a couple of ways, but our wedding is on here also. So if you want to see our wedding day and what took place and how it was, child, I tell you one thing, it was hot as
oh
hell the
God,
day me
yes,
and
it was
Tramel
hot.
got married.
It was so hot.
And the shade is next Friday. It's supposed to be hot as hell because now we in Georgia. That was in Jersey.
Yeah.
Now we in Georgia.
Oh
So,
God, that day was hot. I think it
woo,
was over. I think it was over 90 degrees.
right. And that air conditioning in that house was like it was blowing hot air. Me and Tramel got our shirts open. We got wife beaters on. We taking pictures in our wedding, shirts open with the wife beaters. And I'm like, child, I can't button up this shirt, Ronnie. But like it was sometimes when the person that was taking pictures, who I didn't even ask, but she was sweet enough to take pictures of us, and they came out amazing.
Yes, they did.
She would be like, "Y'all button up your shirts because I want to get a nice, good picture and tuck them in your pants." And we'd be like, "Okay." For that, yes. But just to sit there like, child, I wanted to pull that damn shirt off and sit there in that wife beater because it was like the air in the house was just blowing hot air. And I was like, I can't take it.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah, the party is tomorrow, Grateful Heart. Hey, Willie Ann.
We wish you all could be there, but
You know, yes. No, we didn't have our anniversary party yet. It's tomorrow. So basically, when we came home from dialysis, we said we just gonna eat and relax. And anything we need to do, we gonna do early in the morning because the party started at 4. So we gonna do early in the morning, and from that point on, because we gonna be on time. That's what we not gonna do is roll up at 5 o'clock. We gonna be on time,
Oh yeah, we gonna be on
even if it's
time.
4:05. We gonna be on time,
Casket sharp.
right? Because it is that my friend's house is a distance from mine. So, and if you know anything about Atlanta traffic, and on a Saturday, child, it can catch you. So I plan on really leaving 2:45, no later than 3 o'clock. So, and it's where I used to live when I first lived here. So, um, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We're both excited. Hey, Ashley, we are both excited. And I don't ever get excited about anything. I don't. I promise. I don't get excited for anything. And the minute I heard about the party and Tramel was like, oh, this is what we're going to wear. And I'm like, and because I lost all the weight, I didn't give him pushback. And he was like, you don't have I said, no, I agree with you. And he was shocked. And I'm like, I ain't got no pushback to give this time. Like when we got married, I was like, you wanted me to wear a vest that looked like a corset, and I wasn't wearing that. And it's just a whole new way of life for us. And I want to say I appreciate my friend. Honestly, I don't even know if he watched my YouTubes, but you know, y'all have heard me talk about him before and how we don't speak. And I tell you, God will teach you a lesson. And this is it. And then I'm about to go. Don't ever say what you won't do, because God have a way of coming around and showing you, okay, I know you said you wasn't going to do it and you was real convicted in what you said, but this is what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when God put it in your heart, there ain't nothing you could do but be like, you fight him at first, be like, I'm not doing that. And God's like, okay. But then you sitting there and you thinking about it, and you like, God, seriously, this what you want me to do? Why you playing with me, man? And it was to the point where I even told my Tramel, I was like, uh, do I have to do this? Do I have to do this? And he was like, babe, if you feel like it, do it. And I was like, I said, I want to do it because that's my friend. I said, you know me, I always tell you, once you my friend, you my friend. I said, but at the same time, I said I was never going to. And this just makes me look like a liar. And he said, no, it don't. Things happen. Things change. You're more mature now. I said, you're right. And I did what I had to do. And honestly, me and my friend, it's just like a whole new brand new start. I missed him. He missed me. We told each other that. We talk on the phone now and we hang up and say, bro, I love you. And we never did that before. It's just a whole different type of relationship now. So, and our other friend, which is mutual friends with both of us, he's like in a state of shock. Because when he found out about the party, he said, who giving you what? I was like, yeah, he giving me a party. He said, how did you pull that off? I said, he volunteered it. I said, I told him me and Tramel was going to dinner, on Saturday. I was like, and he was like, oh, are we coming with you? I was like, no, we really want to kind of go to dinner by ourselves. And he was like, all right, then I'm giving you a party. I was like, for real? And he was like, you know how I do. I'm giving you a party. And Tramel was like, oh my God, that's so nice of him. And like y'all know my crybaby husband, honey, the tears started falling. And he was like, well, I'm gonna bake a big. I said, you ain't gotta do that. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, Tramel, me and my friends, when we throw parties, I don't ask people to bring nothing. I said, I think that's rude. I said, now if somebody want to bring liquor or wine or whatever, I don't have a problem with that. But I don't ask people to bring stuff to a party. If I can't feed my party, then they just won't get fed. It's just that simple. I said, and all my friends are the same way. I said, you see, my other two friends, I said every time they invite us over, they got a whole spread of food. They don't never ask us to bring any kind of food to their house. I was like, I don't do that. None of my friends do that. If we invite you to a party, if you want to bring soda, if you want to bring liquor, if you want, that's fine. But past that, I'm not asking you to bring nothing Cause why am I having a party and people got to supply the food? That just don't make. And then it ain't gonna be cohesive. Like you done sat there and made macaroni and cheese, barbecue ribs, and here they come with some off the wall shit, and you like, don't nobody want no ambrosia salad.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I don't, hey Takita, that's why I don't ask people to bring stuff, because I'm like, no. If I can't make it on my own, then I'm not having a party. If we ain't got enough money to throw our own party like that, we don't need to have a party. That's
Unless they
how I
bring in
feel.
dessert.
Right. Or if you tell, or if somebody calls, because I ain't cooking dessert, I can tell you that now. Or, well, I will make a peach cobbler, I ain't gonna lie. But, some people be like, oh, could I bring a cake or could I bring some cupcake? If that's what you want to do, I'm not asking them to do it. If they want to do it, they feel free.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never asked anybody to bring anything to a party that I had.
Yes, one of our friends, she wanted to bring, so I said, you really don't have to.
Right. Because I learned my mother never asked anybody to bring anything. Now I did have a birthday party, and right after the birthday party, I had another party in like July 4th or whatever. When I saw how much liquor cost to like keep my party flowing, I was like, okay, I'll never do this again. I said, because they drink like motherfucking sailors. So I told all of them, I said, bring whatever you like to drink. I was like, because I'm going to have about 3 bottles of liquor. And after that, when it run out, it run out. I was like, because bring whatever you like to drink, child. My island in my kitchen had bottles and bottles and bottles. I had so much liquor when they
Yeah, that
left.
happened to me too.
I
One
was
time,
like, okay.
yeah, that happened to me too. One time, I wanted to have a party at my house, and so I passed out flyers and I told people, come to my party, and just bring a bottle. And I had liquor. That liquor, I had like a year supply of liquor.
Right. And when I had a wine and cheese party, I brought all this wine because I had a wine store, like a really big wine spirit store across the street from where I was living at the time. So I went there. I said, I'm having a wine and cheese party. I said, I don't want real expensive wine. I was like, because most of these people wouldn't know the difference between cheap wine and expensive wine. So they let you taste it. So he let me taste this $3.99 white wine. I was like, oh yes, that's perfect. Give me like 5 bottles of that. Then he was let me taste this sweet red wine. I was like, oh yeah, give me 5 bottles of that. So I had about 10 bottles of wine. These hoes come in there with a bunch of liquor and nobody touched the wine. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
have to drink all this wine by myself. And then I realized, child, wine to get you fucked up better than liquor.
They sure will.
Child, on New Year's Eve, me and my ex had broke up before New Year's Eve. Child, I drank 2 whole bottles of white wine because I love any kind of white wine. Pink Moscato white wine, white Zinfandel. I love any kind of white sweet wine. I love it. Child, I drank 2 bottles. Let me tell you something. I don't even know how I got upstairs in my bed, to be honest with you. I was like, hell, I could do this. I'm home. I ain't got to drive. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm home. I could drink. Child, I woke up in the bed. I had all my clothes on. And I'm like, how did I get up here? I don't even remember going up the stairs. So, y'all, we gonna go now because we need to get some rest so we can look extra cute tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling y'all, we gonna be dipping and doing it.
I got to get up early in the morning to go through
I'm gonna
metamorphosis.
tell y'all, we gonna be dipping and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So be ready, honey, when y'all see the live. I hope you're able to make it to the live. Like I said, it'll probably be between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. Um, and we're gonna take a bunch of pictures and I'll probably post some on the community wall. And we love you guys. And if
Yeah.
nobody told you they love you today, you know that me and Tramel doing there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Walk in love, peace, sunshine, and happiness. All those great and wonderful things. Always remember to dare to be different because nobody wants to be the same. And based off the conversation tonight, make sure you always keep your peace. Don't let anybody disturb that because once they do, you have become a victim of their bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, guys, we will see you tomorrow evening at, like I said, 4:35 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure those Notification bells are set. And with that being said, guys, you know how we end every single video. It's what, Tramel?
Team McRae.
All damn day. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. I hope you have a great Saturday. Bye
Talk
bye.
to you soon.